Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm continuing my Moon Through the Houses series in Synastry. In this video, we're going to talk about the moon in the 7th house in Synastry. So if someone's moon is falling into your 7th house, or your moon is falling into their 7th house. Now, the moon in a relationship synastry chart is especially important because it represents our feelings and our heart and our instinctual emotional self. So when that is falling into someone's 7th house of partnerships of all kinds, this is a really good overlay. It could be a favorite of mine. This, out of any planet in the 7th house, seems to be the most natural kind of partnership bond. And all planets in the 7th house can be very good for partnerships because the 7th house rules over partnerships of all kind. But when someone's emotional self, the moon, comes into someone's 7th house, there's a really good ability to get along with each other. The 7th house person sees the moon person in a real unthreatening way. And they can feel like they want to nurture them. They want to build them up. And the moon person feels really comfortable to share their emotional self with the house person, feeling like they will be accepted. It is sort of a tension too, because the first house is always opposite to the 7th. So like with this one, we are different, but we are compatible, right? Like, so compatible is more like complementary. Sometimes when we're too similar, we actually piss each other off more, and that's where 7th house overlays can be really good, because there is a sort of like a dynamic tension, because we instinctively feel that we might have what the other lacks, and so we tend to categorize people that are falling into our 7th house in a major way. This would be considered that as someone who we can partner with. Now, you have to look at the aspects that are going on here too, because this is one of those ones that can feel so comfortable and natural and good and addicting that you can maybe overlook other incompatibilities. I do feel like moon in the 1st, the 7th, the 4th, the 10th is a bit different, but specifically those first 3 are very powerfully felt by both people. That it can be, kind of addicting when maybe we don't have other compatibilities. So you always want to look at the overlays, are kind of how we're classifying each other. It's sort of what category we're putting each other in. So that like the house person is thinking, okay, you're in my 7th house, not consciously, but like they're thinking, okay, that's how I'm putting you, right? And then the moon person also feels like they're being housed by that person's 7th house. So I think overlays actually are felt by both people, because like if you think about the houses as like an actual house, like that's like what you're being housed by. You're homed in that person's 7th house. So with this overlay, there's a lot of compatibility. There's a lot of like comfortable give and take and emotional sharing. It can feel like really safe. And yeah, like I said at the beginning, the house person can see the moon person in like a really unthreatening way. Like they can want to help them. They can want to guide them. They can want to be there for them. And the moon person feels like, wow, this house person, I really just want to share my heart with them. Like it's easy to be with them. It's easy to love them. And there can be a powerful emotional connection and attraction with this one, because the house person really classifies the moon person as like someone they want to partner with, someone they feel good with, because it's like 7th house overlays can really create that feeling of like finding your other half. So it can be very attractive when someone's moon is in your seventh house. It can feel like, wow, I've really, like, I found the one. I found someone significant. And it's a very emotional feeling. Like, it's not a logical feeling of like, yes, I found someone who's actually good for me, like in the mind. It's not like that. It's like, this feels like I found someone that's good for me. So you want to look at the rest of the overlays. You want to look at the aspects and the composite chart and see if this is actually a compatible relationship, because it sure feels like it is when we have the moon in the seventh house. It's definitely it's one of my favorites for sure. And it can be really good for friendship because it's just really natural and easy, but you do challenge each other enough because of the natural like opposition energy of this. Like, the seventh house is kind of like an opposition energy because it's opposite to the ascendant. The first house is kind of like a conjunction energy when we have planets falling in the first house. So even if it's not making an actual opposition to anything in the person's natal chart, there is this natural opposition energy where, you know, the people feel like they can really complement each other and they can really balance each other out and be like husband and wife, or be like good partners, or be stronger together, like better as a whole. Like, even in a friendship, you can kind of get this feeling that like the relationship is like benefiting you, you know? So, yeah, really good one for all types of relationships. It is especially emotional, but it's not like heavy emotional, like the eighth house. I think I've done moon in the eighth house already. Now that's where we get into some deep, dark stuff, right? In the emotional body. This is like comfortable emotional, like more, I mean, not as buddies as moon in the 11th house, which is another really good overlay. Like, this is a bit more romantic than that, but like, it's also like the house person specifically is able to set aside emotions at times to actually be a good friend to the moon person. And the moon person greatly appreciates that. And, you know, they feel strongly emotionally connected and attached to the house person because it feels really good to be classified in this way. Like, it's when you go into someone's seventh house and you feel them, because it's your moon, being classifying you in that way that like you're their ideal partner, you're the person they want to partner with and match with, like, that feels really good, and it feels really comfortable and natural to be your emotional self with them. And yeah, this one can be like buddies. There's a lot of goodwill towards each other, and it can be quite good. So definitely a favorite to have. Really common in marriage partners, all relationships of all kinds. You tend to bring out the best in each other, but you have to look at the aspects and the whole synastry chart, because this one particularly can feel so compatible and good that it could get you in a relationship when maybe that is not the best use of this because of other incompatibilities. So you always want to look at everything that's going on. So yeah, I'd love to know your experience of this one. Was it like this? Was it not like this? And I'm also doing your requests, so let me know if you have any requests for me to do. I'll do my best to do them all. Okay, thanks for watching. Love you guys. Bye.